100 naira. That's Seko.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite program, Lagos this morning. Today being the 8th of May 2023. It's going to be an interesting week ahead. We're looking at the inauguration preparations in Abuja and also the election petitions tribunal. The pre-hearing would be happening today, and the PDP and Atiku are saying that they want it to be televised live. A lot of controversies surrounding the election petition tribunal. But before we go into the details, I am Olajide Taufik Olamide, and I have with me here my lovely co-host.
Good morning, viewer. You're welcome to another exciting edition of the program Lagos this morning. Of course, I am Gladys Aluzo. You're welcome to the show.
All right, let's take a look at the top stories for this morning quickly. On Presidential Election Tribunal, it will be holding today. The pre-hearing would be holding today, and the APC and all other, the PDP and all other opposition parties are clamoring for the tribunal to be televised live.
Okay, APC plotting to influence Presidential Election Tribunal. That's coming from the PDP.
PDP Atiku apply for live broadcast of tribunal proceedings.
Southeast kicks against Akpabio, demands seat.
150 escaped death as Max airplane tire burst in Abuja.
I was really saddened by that, though.
Yeah.
Federal government confirms May 22nd for planned inauguration of Dangote refinery.
77 trillion naira debt, fuel subsidy, other issues Tinubu will inherit from Buhari. I think there should be insecurity in among the issues too as well.
He will inherit insecurity.
Yeah, well, everything. Well, I think just the negatives are actually a little bit more than the positives. Well, we can't just say that he would inherit, bad things from Buhari. He actually did a little bit of work when it comes to infrastructure. The Lekki, what's it called? The infrastructure, just like the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the
second Niger Bridge.
The second Niger Bridge. Thank you very much, and also what's it called? Am I forgetting?
The seaport.
The seaport, exactly. So he actually has done, a little bit of his own quota there. And Tinubu, when it comes to development, someone does not just come to the seat of leadership and solve all the problems. You will just do the one you are able to do, even if you don't really do well. So much like that. The next person would continue from there. Then the next person too will take over from there.
Speaking about that, a lot of people actually feel that the outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari didn't do much, and the reason why they are saying that is particularly because of the insecurity,
exactly,
and then the high rate of things, the inflation of things
as well.
That's what affects people the most. That's why.
I don't think people really care about really building infrastructure. So far, they can actually trade, and the naira is actually valuable, still valuable, because right now you met the naira to dollar exchange rate at less than 200. Right now it's about 700 naira to 800 naira. So I think that's why people are actually scoring him so low. All right, this morning let's take a look at the traffic update around Lagos State. Going straight to Otedola Bridge and Olokpomeji access. Vehicular movement from Otedola Bridge connecting Secretariat down to Toll Gate is a smooth journey. From Toll Gate en route motorway Ojota Bridge Estate Alakpere down to Aden Petrol Station is in good shape. Immediately after Aden connecting Ogudu Ifako down to Car Wash is a good traffic. Likewise, a car wash in Was Island due to early morning rush. While the entire stretch of the return journey from Bagada Bridge and Olokpomeji connecting Car Wash down to Secretariat is a smooth journey.
Moving on, a loaded DAF truck broke down shortly after making a U-turn on Mobile Road by Mobile Second Bridge inward Marine Beach intersection. Is not really affecting traffic at the moment, but our personnel are on ground monitoring and managing the situation.
Okay, moving on. We have good movement from Iyanokpaja, Adealu, Pako, Goye intersection, Dokpemu, underneath the bridge, down to Cement. Goye intersection inwards Alaguton, Alimosho Road, Akiwowo to connect Moshalashi inwards and outward are also good to go. Dokpemu Bridge inwards Akunwojo roundabout, Shasha traffic light, Shobo, Kwara, Jimo, Forganizer, Mycom, Bakery, Ogunlano to connect Egbeda is also good to go. Return journey from Egbeda to connect Lagos Abeokuta Expressway also looking excellent. Swifa, Oniwaya, Agbotikuyo access very encouraging for now. No record of any impediment as at the moment.
We have better movement from T Junction en route Eleko, Baba Adisha towards Ogunfayo to Costaris. Costaris to Edidot is slow, but moving traffic due to ongoing construction coupled with counterflow. Edidot towards Majek to Safeway is good. Safeway to Ogidon is a slow-moving traffic due to alternation. Ogidon to Happy Land is good, while Happy Land to Lux Living is slow-moving traffic due to a bad portion of the road.
Lux Living towards Adesonya to Underbridge is excellent. The stretch of the return journey from Underbridge, Adesonya, Ogidon, ShopRite to Edidot is also good. Edidot to Kosharis is slow but moving traffic due to ongoing construction coupled with counterflow. Kosharis stretch Awuyaya Alaun towards Eleko to T Junction is good to go.
No record of impediments while officers on ground doing the needful.
Yeah, our officers are actually on ground there doing the needful. This Monday morning is going to be an excellent week for every one of us. All right, let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Today we have the Punch right here in front of me. Subsidy removal. Nigerians may spend 8 trillion naira on petrol in 6 months.
On the next protest as Northwest backs Akpabio for Senate presidency. CCB
tells Tinubu others to submit asset declaration forms before May 29.
Desiani, she reviews her audio with aggressive breast cancer. You see that on page 12 of the Punch.
Assets declaration ongoing in 30 states. No swearing in without form submission. CCB. Bureau says defaulters risk removal from office. 40 Ogun politicians obtain forms.
Fuel-laden tanker crashes, grounds Lagos Ibadan expressway traffic.
Federal government airlift 888 Nigerians from Egypt. Plans more evacuation.
Oshimen, your guy. Okay. Yeah. From Lagos Street hawker to Syria, a go king.
Yeah, that's my Idon Gogon.
That's so.
Passenger stranded. Flight grounded as federal government shut Abuja runway. I think it was due to the incident that occurred yesterday.
Sure. Moving on to the next newspaper front page, we have Nigerian Tribune. On the front page, on the Senate presidency, Southeast Caucus kicks against Akpabio, demands seats.
As the Presidential Election Tribunal begins sitting today, APC apprehensive over weight of evidence that's coming from the People's Democratic Party.
On forced subsidy removal, Nigeria between the devil and the deep blue sea. Wow.
150 escaped death as Max airplane's tire burst during landing at Abuja Airport.
Okay, as Presidential Election Tribunal begins sitting today, APC apprehensive over weight of evidence coming from the PDP.
After 30 minutes gun duel, NDLEA seizes 8,852 kilogram illicit drugs in Lagos.
1 killed as police rescue 58 kidnapped victims in Kogi Forest.
Villagers apprehensive as Zamfara bandits relocate to Katsina.
On Sudan crisis, Nigeria evacuated 1,471 citizens in 5 days, coming from NIDCOM.
Wow. I think we really need to start giving kudos to NIDCOM now.
Okay.
Even if it started slowly, but since it started now, I think there has been improvement in getting people down to Nigeria here. It's a good one from them.
Is that right?
You know, while we blame them for being slow, for starting slow, I would like to give them a little bit of round of applause.
Is that right?
All right, on 10th speaker, aspirants set for showdown over Abbas. Moving on, we have Vanguard, and right at the top left corner, we have on a Kwerimadu story, Gregory Varsity proprietor seeks King Charles intervention.
Federal government confirms May 22nd for planned inauguration of 650,000 BPD Dangote refinery.
On agri-sector growth defies 1.8 trillion naira loan infusions. Stakeholders cite insecurity, flooding, and sharp practices.
10th Nance, we will exploit confusion in APC to produce speaker opposition parties.
On Max Air incident, we owe God our lives. Passengers recount ordeal.
Oshimen, racism hits sore note over Napoli King.
Yeah, there was this controversy last week. Osimhen right now I would actually say is unarguably the best player in Syria right now. You know, scoring 23 goals now to crown Napoli the champions after 33 years. So there was this controversy. Syria as a body, the entire league. So they dropped a particular cartoon whereby another person was being crowned as the king of Syria, and Nigerians actually took to Twitter on other platforms to call out Syria, to call out the body, to call out Syria that Osimhen should have been crowned, and they actually made their own cartoon too and crowned Osimhen as the king of Italy. So it was just an altercation. People, you know, calling them out for racism allegations and the likes. But I think it should have been settled by now, and then we'll see what Napoli would actually, you know, how they would react.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, moving on to the front page of The Nation. Northern governors back power shift for unity. Fairness, says Lalong.
On Senate President, Speaker, APC's consensus moves on settled parties.
Still on Sudan, third batch of 131 Nigerian evacuees return. Why smaller planes are sent to evacuate students in Port Sudan, FG reveals.
Okay, ruling party leaders favor Abbas for Speaker, Carlo for Deputy Speaker. As Gagdi Betara others press on with aspiration.
Oshimbajo, Buhari's armed forces investment tomb-tied against terrorists.
On 2023 polls, religious politics won't help Nigeria. Nasarawa governor warns. Reveals how he survived electoral scar to win second term.
King Charles III crowned at London's Westminster Abbey. Police arrest calls of anti-monarchy protesters. World leaders congratulate Charles III, Queen Camilla. Tinubu says, I look forward to further engagement with you.
Moving on, let's take a look at the front page of Daily Sun newspaper. And right at the right-hand side of the Daily Sun, we have my last moment with Umar Musa Yadua coming from Sarai.
Sarai, that's the wife of the ex-late president of Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Southeast senators demand Senate president's seat. Inch claim on justice, fairness, and equity. Advise Tinubu against adopting current government policy of excluding zone from power equation. APC Senate caucus splits.
Okay, herdsmen kill husband, wife, 5 others, and in 3 Benue communities. So sad.
Wow. On fuel scarcity, Sislak queries $800 million World Bank loan for Nigerians.
Aircraft tire burst into flames on landing at Abuja airport.
PDP alleges plot to influence presidential election tribunal.
Accident on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway claims 3 lives.
All right, moving on to the front page of This Nigeria. On Sudan issue, over 800 Nigerian evacuees arrive in Abuja.
Legal fireworks begin as presidential election tribunal begins sitting today. Parties upbeat, confident justice will be served.
I refuse to anoint candidates to ensure equal contest. That's coming from President Buhari.
Judgment Serap files contempt suit against the federal government for failing to recover double pay from ex-governors. 68
medical doctors, others escape death as Max Air crash land at Abuja airport. Authorities shut down airport several hours. Aviation workers blame federal government for one runway.
Moving on, let's go to Daily Independent.
On the front page, we have 22.7 trillion naira ways and means loans securitization. 22.7 trillion naira ways and means loans securitization seen as mixed bag.
And SERAP sues federal government over failure to recover double pay from ex-governors.
At last, Buhari inaugurates Dangote refinery on May 22nd.
Oshibanjo flags off Imo's Oguta Orashi River dredging on Thursday.
Kenyan President Ruto dispatches special envoy to President-elect Asiwaju Tinubu.
Villagers panic as Zamfara bandits relocate to Katsina. Wow.
NLC disruption of aviation activities illegal that's coming from FAAN MD Babalakin.
Arewa Consultative Forum kicks against Akpabio as Senate President.
All right, and moving on to the front page of this day, we have Dangote. My refinery can save Nigeria $10 billion in forex. In foreign exchange, generate another $10 billion in exports.
On 10th National Assembly, APC NWC meets today to ratify consensus and zoning.
Still on the front page of this day, this morning, over 143 passengers escaped death as Max Air crash land in Abuja.
BDP says APC plotting to influence outcome of petitions at tribunal.
All right, let's go straight to the sporting scene. Yesterday, we saw a series of controversial stuffs. West Ham defeats Manchester United as De Gea blunder and Amas win.
Gunners keep title bid alive.
Oh, yeah, we won yesterday. To near. I trust my fellow Londoners, Chelsea, to defeat Manchester City for me. All right, Fury vows to knock out Steve Anthony Joshua. And also, Siemens surpasses Weir's goals record as the highest goal-scoring African in Serie A history. Everton
boss hails Iwobi.
As Lampard urges Chelsea to be ruthless. I think after the first win of Chelsea now for the past, let's say, few years back, you know, they finally win one game now. They are now urging themselves to be ruthless.
I'm not going to argue with you on this show today. No.
I'll stand up for the champions. Fans salutes champions Osimhen and Oshuala as duo add to their goals tally. Sabitzer denies talks with Bayern, and also Enyimba Wiki tourists win big in NPFL running.
Moving on, let's go to the next front page this morning. We'll be looking at the points. State of the nation, Nigerians, World Bank list lows, highs of Buhari's administration, one incoming president against potential landmines, Tinubu inheriting more liabilities than assets, coming from ESPA.
Nigerian prisons breed hardened criminals, let them loose after jail term. Retired justice blames prosecutors for prison congestion.
I will go to court if Abure is reinstated and party suspends me, coming from my papa. Labour Party and their crisis, though.
Wow. Woman accused of being a witch forced to drink water used in washing late brother-in-law's corpse. Damn.
Oh, wow. Activities kick as community assault banishes woman over alleged public food poisoning.
Furore over Buhari's 22.7 trillion naira controversial CBN overdraft. That's all we have for you on the front pages. Before we go into the top stories today, we'll be going on a short break. By the time we come back, we'll be taking a look at our feedbacks and also open the phone lines for you to call in and drop your opinions and contributions. Stay tuned. You're watching Lagos this morning.
100 naira, let's go.
All right, guys, welcome back to the program Lagos
Lagos
This Morning. If you're watching us, you can click on the like button. You can also subscribe. Hit on the subscribe button if you have not done that. I can see Mr. Majed joining us. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Mr. Majed.
Of course, with a heart emoji.
Yeah, exactly. I think a love emoji to be precise. All right, I will be looking at the election tribunal pre-hearing today. Presidential election tribunal hold pre-hearing today, and there are a lot of controversies surrounding the election tribunal. And then right now there are preparations for the inauguration ceremony, and people are saying if there is still issues in court, why should they start preparing for the inauguration ceremony? Which means regardless of what comes out of the court, the inauguration would go on. Because I really don't understand that middle. If you're watching us right now, you can call in. We have a phone number in the comment section. You can use it. You can call in. What are your opinion? What are your thoughts about the presidential election tribunal? Where do you think it's going to swing to? Is it going to be that of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, or Peter Obi of the Labour Party, or Atiku? And also APC, the PDP are accusing APC of plotting to influence presidential election tribunal. You know, so far so good now. We saw Lai Mohammed last few weeks coming out to say that Peter Obi and Atiku lost woefully. Lai Mohammed is in the APC, is part of the federal government as well. So I think many people are saying it should not be coming from him. He should have not even said anything. Just allow the court to decide instead of you talking. It's like you are behind, or you are acknowledging what the INEC has done. Oh, Mr. Sampson. Mr.
Sampson is already here.
Good morning, Mr. Sam. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good morning, Mr. Sampson.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, so what can you say about the presidential election tribunal holding the pre-hearing today?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, when it comes to election tribunal, that's the process.
Yeah.
The hearing provides an opportunity for, for maybe any further addition of petitions and removal of petitions. I guess, the fireworks are about to get started. And I'm so hopeful in the judiciary, because I believe they will do just what is right.
Yeah.
So, it's a good one.
Okay, also, the PDP has accused APC of plotting to influence the presidential election tribunal. What are your thoughts about that, sir?
Yeah, I guess that's a response to Asiwaju's visit to River State, where he said the judiciary should be supported, should be, financed by governor, and so they see it as a subtle way of Asiwaju trying to probably guide his way through the judiciary, and that is just a mere blackmail, because there's no way, if you want to ask for any substantive evidence that proves otherwise, if Asiwaju is trying to, or in any way trying to kind of influence the judiciary. No, that's just a cheap blackmail. So, if you want to talk about those who have been blackmailing, who has been trying to, to override and, emotionally blackmail the judiciary, I think it's the PDP boys and the obedient boys, because we have seen where the obedient have preempted the judges, countless numbers of places. They have said if the ruling does not favor Obi or it doesn't favor Atiku, then injustice has been issued. How can you be the accuser, the jury, and the judge in your own case? You have gone to the court, so it is expected of you to just keep quiet and expect the ruling to be done. But we have seen on several social media handles, especially from the Obi camp, where we saw what the vice president said. We saw what Okonkwo, one of the, in fact, Eunice Tanko. These are so many people who have aligned with Obi's camp, who are preempting the court ahead. And I think that is a recipe for crisis. Because when you go to the court, when you have your case in the court, because that is akin to prejudice. And they have been able to incite and arouse people's sentiment. Because what it is today is, no matter how practical or how empirically provided and proof that Tinubu won his election, I mean, we have seen that some people would not still go with that ruling. So I think we just have to be careful. This nation is way beyond any person. Our democracy is not yet perfect, like I've always said. You know, I've always said that our electoral system will keep improving and improving and improving. So unless we just want to be unrealistic to ourselves that we'll get it all right in one day. No, it's not going to be like that. If you look at every other Western countries, they also had, you know, they had a progression. They had so many progressions. Look at the US, look at the UK, look at even the Russia, look at the China. So all these people, they have their own various period which they had to go through some little crisis, but they didn't let the nation crumble because of one man. So, and I've always prayed that God forbid we're not going to have what's happening in Sudan here in Nigeria.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. And Nigerians are also clamoring for the tribunal proceedings to be broadcasted live. How possible do you think it is for that to happen?
Now, there are so many reasons why that is unsafe. Now, it is particularly unsafe for even the judges. All right, it is particularly unsafe even for even the judges. When you are putting these people on their toes, they might feel they are on duress. All right. Now, it's at the end of the day, this is at the prerogative of the tribunal. So, Atiku has actually filed for that live streaming of the proceedings. Like I've said, Nigerians are too sentimental. The sentiment on too many occasions overrides their logical thinking. All right. So, just like I used to say, I said, put for instance, in a situation whereby you are watching a football match. All right. And it's the final, you have two people, you have an Arsenal fan and then you have a Man U fan. Alright, you guys are watching that football match live. In a situation whereby Man U is leading Arsenal, and then the Man U guy is counting the Arsenal guy. I mean, these are things that we have seen in the past whereby fans off themselves, whereby they get killed themselves and all that. Okay? But when they listen to the match, probably on radio or perhaps they read it from news or from papers, you understand that the level of crisis that might arise will never be there. Alright? So the emotions, listen, if they are televising this thing, and probably we find ourselves in a bus stop, we are watching this petition. In that instance, they pronounce that thing. I mean, whoever the winner is might start counting the loser. Do you understand? So this thing is an avenue that might encourage crisis at that instance. Alright, so it is better we'll either listen to it from radio or we read it from papers. That's my own thing. That is my own opinion. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We cannot override the fact that we still have more illiterate people in Nigeria than illiterate. We cannot deny ourselves that. In Nigeria of today, we have so many people who are unlearned upon those that are learned. And Nigeria, as we know, is too sentimental. Okay? So, if you want to televise it, how are you going to what? Manage that crisis, that, imminent crisis. Because let me tell you something. If I am watching this petition with you, and perhaps they now announce Tinubu as the winner, immediately I might say, I might just start taunting you. I might just start saying all manner of things to you. Or you might just get aggressive and just take something and break that person's head. But when you get to reason, the rate at which a crisis can arise is so easy through that television, televising of that process. So that's my own take on that. We are not yet matured for that, and that's just the reality on ground.
All right, thank you so much. And also on the Senate presidency issue, the Southeasterners are kicking against Akpabio. They are demanding for the Senate presidency seat for equity and fairness. What do you think about that?
Okay. First thing first, the Senate president must be zoned to the South. Must be zoned to the South, and it should be a Christian. I have always said it. Your ethnicity is above your religion. your religion, because you are, first of all, where you come from, because your religion is stressing. Gladys, who sits beside you today, could be a Christian. Tomorrow she could get married to maybe an Afa, and then she becomes a Muslim. But that doesn't change the fact that ethnicity will change. That will never change. She will always remain that, she always remain an Igbo. Now, for that zoning, it is agreed now that it will be zoned to the south. Now, the southeast should be ready to battle for it. And then the south is playing the game. The south is playing the game by meeting up with people. He is keen for that position. But the south are on the side of entitlement. They don't want to probably go out there and, battle for it. They are of the opinion that it should be given to them on a platter. That because they need to be what? They need to be appeased. But the southeast does not override the south. There's nowhere that it says that the southeast are way more important than the south people. They are the same level. Alright? The southeast, the south and southwest, they are all of at the same power. So there's nobody that is higher than anybody. I have no reason why the southeast will be clamoring that they are being marginalized. What about the south? If you get it, I guess the south are equally so that they are being marginalized. So this thing is being thrown to the south. The southeast and the south should battle for it. And whoever emerges was the best person. So that emotional blackmail that they are going to television and be crying for that the southeast ought to be given. No, you need to stop that entitlement mentality. And that is the problem that we have seen to be their trick. But the southeast, I think that's one of the major problems they have. PDP denied you guys this thing, and that is why Obi moved to Labour Party, and then they voted for it en masse. Do you understand? So we must get the point that in this senatorial position, it is coming to the south. Now it is between the south and the south. For them to say that the south should not contest, that is unfair. They must battle it out.
All right, thank you very much. We're taking a little bit away from politics to the Dangote refinery inauguration planned on the 22nd of this month. What do you say about what can you say about the refinery and its would I say positive effects on the Nigerian economy?
Okay, first of all, I'm not really impressed about that inauguration because this is something that ought to have happened. I do not really know why there has been so much delay about the inauguration of that refinery. I mean, to my knowledge, everything it's been set up. They need to kickstart the refinery as soon as possible. I haven't seen the government give Dangote a timeline. I mean, NFTC has about 20 to 25% stake in that refinery. So they have a say. They need to urge that refinery to kickstart as soon as possible. But now, Dangote said it will kickstart by May 22nd. Now, economically, this will help us conserve some of our forex because that refinery, when it is in optimal capacity, it can actually serve all our petroleum demand as a nation, and even excess, which will be exported to our neighboring countries like Benin, Togo, Ghana, and the likes. Right? So that refinery is a good way to go. However, the government must do everything possible to break that monopoly Dangote might want to create. Because we know that during the early 2000s, Dangote was able to rise to what he is today because of monopoly. When Obasanjo gave only him the right to sell cement in Nigeria. So immediately the Dangote start, that petroleum industry act must also begin to function. It's a very important thing. And then the government must either get those refineries working or they sell those refineries out to private entities who are ready, to compete with Dangote. Because you see that petrol, when we have a competitive market, then that petrol will become very affordable for everybody. But in a situation whereby Dangote happens to be the only one providing the fuel for us, then we are at the mercy of just one man who might just begin to hike the prices at whatever rate it decides. All right. So those are the possibilities that we have in the nearest future of Nigeria's economy.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sampson. Thank you for your contribution.
Welcome.
Well, see, that's the televising of the election tribunal. I kind of think that because everyone have their own opinion, though. But speaking from my own perspective, if I'm allowed to do that this morning, I kind of feel that it should be televised for the sake of transparency. I understand what he said.
Yeah.
You know, that some people it might cause violence
Issues, yeah.
and all that. But then, for the sake of because people that did not go, they may want to see. Okay, let's see what is happening there. You understand? Let's get to know how is it being done. Okay, if this person is finally declared, how did they arrive to that conclusion?
Exactly.
I kind of feel that they actually need to televise it, even though a lot of people feel that, okay,
Yeah.
now not it being televised might actually cause crisis as well.
That's true. That's true.
It's a two-way thing. It is being televised. Some people like, okay, they did not announce our candidates now. Okay, they want to like fight and all that. Okay, they didn't televise this. And how did they come up with this? We will not agree. It will still cause trouble. So for the sake of transparency, let it be that, okay, Shebi, you guys saw everything that happened. You saw it. This is how it went. Everybody will just be at peace and calm. You know, even if you should ask me whether the tribunal, some people are already accepting the whole thing already. Some people are already accepting.
Some people have moved on already.
Nigerians have moved on. You know, we move on so easily.
Yes,
that's the truth.
that's
We move on so easily. No matter what happens, life continues. But then, for the sake of transparency, I kind of think that it needs to be televised.
For the sake of transparency. And also on this inauguration of Dangote refinery, I think I like what Mr. Sampson said. As much as we would actually say, okay, you know, congratulations, we now have a solution, but that market should not be monopolized to only one man. Would be at his mercy. He can just wake up one day and says he wants to sell his fuel for so liters. Or, you know, he can just increase it at any time, and you have nobody to run to, nowhere to go to. So I think it's just Nigeria has its own refineries that are not functioning. So as he has said, they should be able to either sell it out or lease it out to the private bodies to actually take over those refineries and make the market competitive. So by the time either Dangote wakes up one day and he says he wants to sell his own petrol for 300 naira per liter, someone else can come out and say, okay, come and buy my own for 250, or come and buy my own for 150.
It's just like, you know, when Dangote cement came out, there was this cement. I'm from the southeast, okay? There is this cement that also came out. They call Ibeto cement. I don't know if it's still there.
Yeah,
you heard about Ibeto cement, but then I don't really know what happened. That nobody hears about them anymore. It's just about everything is now Dangote.
Wow.
You get, so I don't know how we actually get to that point where only one man have dominated the market space in Nigeria. As if he's the only person who is actually into production. When there are other people who can produce things, and then things can actually be affordable to the average Nigerian. You get, so I don't think that this idea of him alone, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea because there are a lot of people there who produces things.
Exactly.
The cement, the Ibeto cement is there. Okay, let's
elephant
cement and the likes. Okay, or let's talk about Dangote is already dominating. We have Dangote sugar.
Yeah.
Hence is not the only person producing sugar as well.
Of course.
We have even though that sugar is
Simply sugar.
Nobody hears about that one now. Even if you see it now.
Sugar is forever good. They don't even have adverts, but they are still selling.
Yeah,
anywhere, any
they've already made a name for themselves.
Yes.
But then I don't think it is a good idea to actually make this in a one-man business. You know, other people there too who are into production should be allowed to produce.
Yeah. We are still on the program Lagos this morning. If you're watching us, you can click on the like button. You can also subscribe if you have not done that. You can call in as well. Let's have your opinion on the Presidential Election Tribunal pre-hearing today. I think we have a caller right now. Okay. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Sorry, please, we can't hear you.
So we can't hear you.
Try calling back.
You can try calling back, and you can ensure to put off the live program when you want to call in, so you won't be seeing yourself, and it won't be interfering with the call as well. You can try to call back, and let's have your contributions and opinion. All right. So as we were saying before, it shouldn't be a one-man thing. if the market is open, just like the Chinese market, whereby you can just go and just produce your stuff, then get it sent to Nigeria. Had it been it is just one man producing these things over there.
Someone actually drop a comment and say Boa Group. You know this group,
yeah,
right?
Boa Group, yeah, Boa Group as well. So there are so many manufacturers, so many producers out there, but if the market is monopolized to only one person, it's very easy to become the richest man like that. Even if you are producing only pure water and they monopolize the market, that only Gladys just be producing pure water for
just imagine we have only
Nigerians.
just imagine that we have only pure water what's it called
Ever
now?
water.
Let's say when it comes to table water, just imagine we have only Ever Water in Nigeria, and then if Ever Water, one thing happens to them, okay, what happens? People
What
will,
happens exactly?
what happens to
They don't have any other alternative.
you know, that's I feel that they shouldn't monetize as in monopolize everything actually.
All right, so we have a caller again. Hello. Hello, good morning.
This caller.
The network is bad. The network is bad. We don't know what's wrong with the network now. Yeah, network is still acting up. I don't know if you're watching yourself live now, but if you're watching yourself, you need to actually you
need to disconnect so that you can call in
speak with
properly.
us very well and have your contributions being being heard by other people. So I think the market should just be open to everybody, even if it shouldn't be monopolized. If it is open to everybody, it will bring in more employment opportunities will be out there. Now imagine Dangote having a refinery, then other people having refineries as well. Let's just say two other persons or three other persons, Nigeria having about 4 refineries functioning. We'll have more people working in those refineries as well. More employment for people as well. More retail outlet out there selling at a rate.
Nigeria is too big to have just one.
Exactly.
Nigeria is too big. It's a big country. It's
We
too
need to
big.
open up the market.
Honestly, we need to.
Yeah. And also looking at the live broadcast, we've talked about the live broadcast, series of opinions out there. Some people want it to be broadcasted live, while others are saying that it would cause issues. Because there's no way it wouldn't later cause, little bit of pockets of issues everywhere. Either it is being broadcasted live or people read it in the newspaper or they watch it on, because there's no way that the videos wouldn't get online even before they announce the winner. Because people have their phones there and journalists would be there covering all the process.
And not everybody will want to go buy newspaper to read. Not everybody loves reading newspaper.
Not everybody. And also APC plotting to influence presidential election tribunal. That's coming from the PDP, as Mr. Sampson have said that, okay, the PDP is just trying to play a kind of cheap blackmail game or something. But all of the opposition parties are actually accusing them, because majority of the time we've seen them, even the president himself, saying that the other parties lost woefully. I don't think it should.
You also remember when he said, you remember when he said that nothing will stop the inauguration from holding on May 23rd. I kind of feel that, no strings attached, but then this kind of comments coming from the presidency, I think it needs to be checkmate, because I don't think they need to be, they are supposed to be talking about it.
Exactly.
Like it should come from other people, because they already, their tenure is already elapsing, and they are leaving the seat of power. So another government is coming. They should just leave things. Let the court decide.
Exactly.
Let the court decide. So whatever the court decides, but then them making this kind of statement and this kind of comments is raising a lot of speculations.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's possible that these people is going to influence the court. Being that Nigeria, from the things that we've always seen, the things we've always seen so far, they hardly yield to the court decisions.
Yeah, and also coming out to say that nothing would stop it. People would say nothing, not even the outcome of the tribunal proceedings. Many people would now add a lot of prefix into the statement, like not even the election proceedings would stop the inauguration. In
this country, I feel there's something I always say. When things like this want to take place, like this election tribunal now, and then this kind of statements coming from the presidency or from the people already in power, it's going to make some people to actually doubt whatever the outcome will be.
Exactly.
Because they've already given us an hint
of what
it's going to look
like. Regardless of the outcome of everything, this is where we are still going to. That's just it. And also 77 trillion naira debt, fuel subsidies, other issues Tinubu will inherit from Buhari. It's just something else. A lot of issues out there, insecurity, even electricity problem as well. Electricity generation is just too much. And also the flood is coming already.
There's something okay.
Incoming voice call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, finally we got you. Good morning. You're welcome to the show. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
No, I'm calling from Abia State for now.
You're calling from where?
Abia State for now.
Abia State.
Okay, and your name is, sorry, we didn't get that properly.
Push more.
Pushmore.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Pushmore.
All right, let's have your contribution, sir.
You people doing today?
Yeah,
We are having an music effect.
As of 2009, I reached,
okay.
I had the opportunity to do my IT in the Nigerian Ports Authority for Harcourt Port. I experienced what is called monopoly at the highest order by Dangote. Dangote is the worst problem Nigeria will ever experience in life. We had only one president in Nigeria, in the person of Omar Musa Yar'Adua. He is so rest in peace. And he was sworn in. The first thing he did in Nigerian Ports Authority and fabricate. He stopped Dangote from owning importing in Nigeria. He went back to check the file of Ibeto, Gua, and all the rest of it. And gave Dangote ultimatum. If you are not willing to sell your cement at the rate of 1,200, you can stop all that and sell. I was in Nigerian Ports Authority then. Anytime Dangote's vessel arrives port, what you will see in his manifesto is presidency without payment, and Nigeria is losing millions of dollars because of only one single man called Dangote. When I came back from my IT, I told my friends that the problem we have in Nigeria is Dangote. Only one man in the refinery that in country cannot do it. Why can't we think in Nigeria? The politicians are using us for a right. I keep on telling people that politicians in Nigeria are great killers. For me, Nigeria is just a story because all of us, both me, both you people anchoring the program, both all of us talking about that's all we can have to say. We don't have to take any action. Who are Sudan people to challenge their government? Many people have done it. Why can't the youth stand up? But only what we know how to do best is to, as I saw, another person will go, we treat, Facebook, that's all. Our heart closed. We cannot stand up and fight for what belongs to us. Nigeria belongs to all of us, not a single person. Nobody has the monopoly over anybody at all. We have to live for once and die for once. You live today, you die tomorrow. We can just say, you don't want to die, you don't want to die. I don't know after this call I may die. Nobody knows. That means we have to stand up, fight for our rights. Nothing like talking. Too much talking doesn't prove our age. That's my own concern over what anybody is saying about. You can't look at like, let him say it's well, 800 naira. All of us are inside. Whether your father is president today, you will buy it. It will affect you one way or the other. So the earlier we stand up and fight for our rights, the better for all of us and stop tweaking, stop making money. If you are not ready to take back the country, let us keep quiet and let them continue the way they are doing. That's what I have to say for now.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Bushman. Thank you.
Honestly, this contribution, I think it made a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, for someone who worked on
The
Ports
Ports
Authority as of 2009, when the late Umar Musa Yar'Adua was the president of Nigeria. But he's still rest in peace, though.
Amen, amen, amen.
Wow, that's actually okay. You know, nobody has the monopoly of power.
Exactly.
You know, and that's
Nobody
one of the should have actually
monopoly in a particular market, because you would actually kill the people in that market if you monopolize everything to only one man. It would have total control over everybody.
I still remember when a bag of cement was sold for 1,750.
How much is it now? It's over 4,000.
I don't even know how much it's being sold, because then my dad was building a house, so that's how I remember that. Okay, fuel was 1,000. Cement was sold for 1,750. You know, we're just busy buying cement and all that. But now, before you can get a bag of cement now, and that's probably because it's just one person.
Of course.
Now, you know.
Wow.
We have a feedback here from Gladys Chisom. She said, Mr. Sampson is right, because when it becomes one man thing, we won't have enough to sell outside Nigeria. Exactly.
Person will be making a whole lot of money, fine, but on the long run, you would get choked up, because there's no way you'd want to sell to people outside too, and even to Nigerians, and you just act. There will be nobody checkmating you. You have no competition, and when you have no competitors around you, you won't even know if you are progressing or you are retrogressing. Because if you're able to compete yourself, to compare yourself with other competitors, that's when you'll be able to say, okay, I'm doing well in this market. So I think the market should just open up. It is, to some extent, I don't want to just, say negate all the whole thing, but to a very large extent, it's a huge slap on this on the administration on the face of this administration.
Even
the former president,
okay,
because they can't even repair a refinery, and just one man built a refinery, and Nigeria as a whole does not have a functioning refinery. It's a very big.
It's actually very poor. You know, whoever the new president of Nigeria will be, whoever, either Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, or the president-elect himself, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, whoever it will be, I feel that one of the things the person should look into is, one, is insecurity. Yeah. Then two, Nigeria should become a production country.
Nigeria should be a producing country.
A producing country. You know, we should be a producing country, because we consume a lot and yet we produce little.
I think this monopolization of stuff, that is what is killing production in Nigeria. It is not as if we don't have people that are ready to produce, but how do they get it to the market when some set of people have monopolized the market to only one person? Let's just say, okay, let's say in the oil sector now, it is now being monopolized to only one person. In other agricultural sector, in health sector, what is going on there? We don't even know. If they can monopolize this one to one man, there would surely be monopoly in other sectors too. So now let's say you're producing stuffs, and I'm also producing, but due to the fact that I know one or two people, they've monopolized the market to only me. Whereby, okay, let's say I'm selling water now, you're selling water as well. Let's say, okay, be supplying water to everybody in Nigeria, 200 million people. No matter how you produce, you will still be subjected to buying from me. The only option you now have now is to now be a supplier, to buy from me, then sell it to other people as well. But you taking it direct to the market, there will be a policy or a system that would cut you out of that kind of thing. So I think that's just the dangers of monopolizing system to one person.
And another thing I kind of observed is there was a time I heard this stuff that when some set of people from a particular region is producing this kind of thing, they kind of stop them. Only to allow people from this part
from just one specific region,
to dominate the market space, instead of allow everybody. If you can produce cement, and I am into cement production, and then someone from the north is into cement production, now it is not just me from the southeast into this cement production, then there is other people too. It will be very easy. But whereby it is just me, and that's also one of the reasons why you will see a lot of trucks on the road and all that, and it's just like it is one person You know, I think it's a
That's
big
true,
problem.
that's true,
It's a
that's
big problem
true,
because
that's
an average person who wants to get some things done, let's say you have a house to build, you need to build a house.
Yeah.
And then, but because the high inflation of this particular product in the market, you just leave it. You know, till whenever.
Or you have no choice.
Or you
but to
have
just
no choice.
Pay those price.
Then probably you have in mind to erase a particular kind of building.
Yeah.
But because you don't have the required resources to make it up to that, you have to
You have to
limit
change
it.
your plan.
You have to change your plan because you can't afford it. You know, that's because of the kind of system we found ourselves in the country. That's why I say that the next president of Nigeria should also look into the producing aspect. You know, Nigeria should be a producing country.
Yeah.
Because we consume a lot and yet we produce little.
Yeah. I think last month we read the report where Nigerians spent billions of naira on groundnut oil, and even meat, you know, being imported into Nigeria. You know, all these kind of things.
But the question, why should we import meat?
Groundnut oil.
Import groundnut oil when we have, there is common now, there is palm tree in Nigeria, or we don't have one anymore.
We have
have
thousands.
Why should we now import groundnut oil? Why?
I think those
As
are
a
in
country.
charge. I think those are in charge of those importations. You know, maybe there are some percentage they are getting when goods are being imported into Nigeria. They won't want all those benefits, even negative ones. They won't want it to stop.
It's just
I think that's why they don't want
it's
it
just
to
like
continue to be there.
generator as well,
Exactly.
being imported, and then Nigeria is an oil producing state. We can actually generate our own power.
Exactly.
And then we are importing generator. That's because some set of people benefit from that.
Exactly.
You know, that is what they do.
And those set of people have been they have a kind of backing by some set of people to up there.
And you know, the highest authority in Nigeria is the presidency.
The presidency.
When you have the backing of the presidency, what can you not do?
What you can do does not exist.
It doesn't exist, you know. Please, you can call in. There's a number there on the screen on the comment section. Please, you can call in. Let's know what you think about this election tribunal holding today, the pre-election tribunal holding today. And also, what do you think about the election tribunal being televised so that everybody will actually know what is going on other than reading it on the papers? And also, the Dangote refinery inauguration. What do you think? Should one person, or should Nigeria be limited to having only one person supplying the major things that we need?
Mr. Flip said it's marginalization. Dangote is Nigeria, Nigeria is Dangote. Well, I don't know how Google actually did it or how they came about it, but if you press who is the owner of Nigeria on Google, it will bring someone for you.
Really?
And you know that person.
Interesting.
Yeah, just one person, owner of Nigeria. Just Google it, you will see the answer. So to some extent, I think and on this one as well, there is no system or nobody or no what's it called? There's no system that is checkmating this person. So how do we know if even some of our leaders are not even taking Nigeria's money and investing it into another man's business,
you know, to
get their return?
There's something I was having a conversation with someone sometime. I did mention something. The person be like, "Oh, because you are from this part of the country, that's why you're sounding this way." I said, "No, this is not because I'm from this part of the country. It's just me being a rational Nigerian."
Yeah.
You know, look at this. We have a Nigerian who is into car production.
Yeah.
So how far have we as Nigerians or as Nigeria as a nation try to motivate this person or even to empower this person to produce more?
Not even motivate. We need to start producing our own cars. Those people that are supplying cars to Nigeria, if they are not producing their own, just like we are not producing ours.
Or if they stop supplying to Nigerians, what happens?
They won't even stop supplying to us because they know we actually love flashy things. We spend on frivolities. That's just the fact. We want to buy the latest cars as it's coming out today. Okay, let's just bring out iPhone 16 now or iPhone 15.
Nigerians will be
Nigeria
the first
would
to buy.
pre-order it. Nigerians will pre-order it. They love flashy things. I think that's why we don't even produce many things at all. So if these people now, if they were like us, not producing, where are we going to buy all these things from? Are we still going to be riding horse or camel? No, we should just ask ourselves. So now we need to start having our own things out there. We need to start producing. We should have our own cars. We should have our own. Not even bike is being produced like 100% in Nigeria. Or do we have one? I don't think we have any. Even cars now, innocent motors is there, and I believe there will be other ones that we don't even know about yet.
Definitely.
Just because the market probably is being monopolized to another person, or there is too much of importation of vehicles, which needs to be either be reduced or totally phased out. I think right now it should be reduced first.
The thing there is, like the innocent motors you mentioned, right? This man understands Nigeria roads. He understands how our things are here, and then he produces things according to how our roads are. And then we import vehicle, because there's a particular vehicle I saw once. It was too down. I'm like, this one no feel right. You know, if drive in some kind of roads, honestly speaking. But then we have someone who is into this production, who understands how Nigerian roads are, and then we are not empowering them, yet we keep importing.
In fact, we should be patronizing these people. And other people too should be, would I say, motivated. They don't need to inspire anybody or motivate anybody, but if they start patronizing one person, other people too would take a cue out of that. Okay, if I start producing,
and it's not as if they are not good. They're actually good.
Exactly.
They're actually good, but just because we don't value our own, that's the problem we have. We don't value, and also because those of us in the seat of power, or the ones in the government, or do I say our politicians, they kind of benefit from this other part, and that's why they don't pay attention to these ones here, because there is more to benefit from the other side.
Just like what you said, that you saw a particular vehicle that was too low to the ground. That vehicle, they produced it because of their roads. They don't really have the kind of, would I say, disastrous potholes that even you can even start digging inside and getting crude oil from those kind of potholes in Nigeria. It's something else. So now we understand our environment, we understand our people, we understand how they drive and what kind of cars will actually fit into the environment, that even if the government don't fix these roads, the alignment would be okay, the shock absorber is there, the tires are actually good, and all this thing. There should just be a particular body that would regulate and check the quality of those cars. See,
Nigeria, our leaders need to pay attention to the things that are needful, actually, because even in Nigeria-made products, let's travel down to Aba. Right now, we hear a lot of things about Aba-made products. It's not as if they are not good. They're actually good, but because
of these products, I would say that they are made in Italy. It's
Aba-made.
But the problem is, if they don't write made in Italy, made in Finland on them, Nigerians wouldn't buy them.
Definitely. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah,
good morning. You're welcome to the show. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Mr. Samuel from UK.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Samuel, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Like what you guys are saying, one of the problems we have in Nigeria is we don't really value, we don't value what we have. I don't know, maybe because of bad governance or lack of support, and we keep crying there's unemployment, there's this, there's that, but the government is not doing it. They are not giving people that wants to make the country, governable and country good for people. Because you see, we've got innocent cars that are manufactured. If the government has looked into that and they've supported that company, to produce cars, other companies will grow. That is what our leaders don't understand. When you see somebody doing something and you support that person, other new ones will come up, and with that you will have massive employment of the youth, and you will see a situation where our skills, the skills that our youths have, will be used judiciously. It's just unfortunate that in Nigeria we don't really support. We don't support. How will I put it? We don't support our own. We don't support our skills. You see, I was a victim of something in Nigeria that where I was working, they saw me as a threat, that I'm bringing ideas on how to move the organization forward, how to make sure that things are being done properly. They saw me as a threat, and I said, okay, if that is the case, I'm going to leave the country. I can tell you now that where I'm working here in the UK, they don't see me as a threat. They see me as a resource, because I've been able to impact others employees' life. I've been able to guide them,
In fact, as I speak to you, sometimes they send me on training to train other people on different skills and all that. And that is how you have a society where everybody will be fully empowered, not just seeing someone as a threat. Rather, we should see people as a resource. And that is the problem we're having in Nigeria today. There's a lot of resources, a lot of skills that if it's being well managed, it will spread around, people will be employed, a lot of things will spring up. But our government is not just interested. And the society as a whole is not helping matter, because we have all this kind of, it's not just only government. Even some private institutions, you see where they try to do to make things difficult for people because they believe that these people are becoming a threat to them. So I think the government should just try and support Innocent and then see how because if we keep importing, we are not helping ourselves in Nigeria. Yeah. Like we are sending all our monies back to foreign countries to be bringing things for us. And that will not grow the economy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you so
Samuel.
much, Mr. Samuel. That was a good one from Mr. Samuel. Like,
beautiful.
Allowing others to go into production, those that can actually create employment opportunities as well.
I think
that's one of the things I picked.
They are mostly looking at white collar jobs or something, and you tell these children, go to school. Okay, education is key. I'm not saying education is not key. It's part of life process. And also, but when they now get to the NYSC camp, you now start telling them that Said is the answer. No. Is it when they get to the NYSC camp, under 3 weeks, they will now learn, they will now perfect their skill in barbing or cosmetics or something? No, it shouldn't be that way. Now, if you invest or you, assist manufacturers like Innocent Motors now, they would expand, which means majority of our graduates in mechanical engineering would get employed there. And if other people who have the ideas too in cars manufacturing, if they start doing their cars too, all our students that are graduating from these places and institutions, they would have places to key into. Just like media houses, instead of trying to clamp down on media houses now, let more of them spring up. Let's have more of them. So by the time our students are graduating, they would have a place to go to, and others who would be inspired because they have support system to start up media organizations as well and employ more people. But now, if they don't do that, where are these people? Because we have about millions of people.
One of the reasons why they won't support the media housing, when you speak against them or when you don't speak the language they want to hear, they want to hear. In a way, it suits them. You become a threat to them. And that's the reason why they want to clamp down on some media houses.
I think that's what Mr. Samuel is actually hinging on here now. Because these things, you have to choose between the two. You can't serve two masters at the same time. You can't want to serve yourself and want to serve you. You have to choose between two. If you want to serve, then you have to be against your own selfish interest.
Definitely.
And if it has to be against that, because we are saying Nigerian economy is not growing. When Nigerian economy was booming, then we had more export. Now, where's our agriculture produce or something? Then we have the granite pyramid.
We can import meat now. Even though we have a lot of cows in Nigeria, now, we are importing meat.
Where is our granite pyramid? Where is our rice farm? Where is everything?
Do you even hear of cocoa anymore? I can't remember the last time I actually heard about cocoa in this country.
We still in some part of Cross River and some south states like that do. But if they don't go back to the way it was before Nigeria discovered petroleum, then I don't think Nigeria would actually.
There are a lot of things that Nigeria can produce, but I don't know why they are paying so much attention into the petroleum, the oil sector. Even the oil sector still is not even enough. And
other countries are actually moving. They are now building electric cars. Now, if everybody now starts using electric, would we start drinking our petrol? It will get to a point whereby, though it is not only fuel that we get from the crude oil, because Nigeria has a very high quality crude oil. I think about 16 different things you can actually get it from there. But let's say the other countries start, like they cut it down. They stop using petrol like that, as much as that, now start using gas or all other things there. So it would be reduced. What we can get, the amount of money we can get from all these things will actually be reduced. And we can't do without food. Even our own food, we are not even producing them. All these agricultural stuffs bring in investors. They should invest in agriculture. first of all, the insecurity has to actually stop or reduce to the barest minimum
Honestly,
for agriculture to
because
thrive.
I believe that that's one of the limitations that our farmers are having.
Yes,
You know, the
yes,
insecurity.
yes.
Particularly, okay, let's take a look at the rice. You know, a bag of rice in Nigeria now is about 40 something or 30 something to 40,000 naira.
Yeah, about
I still remember when we were buying a bag of rice for 7,000.
7,000.
You know, how did we get to that point?
Because
Hence,
we stopped producing.
even though we are still producing. Okay, I don't know if you can remember a particular video I saw or Obi Ezekwesili and the Buhari rice some time ago. It was in Abuja or a particular northern state. I can't remember, so I don't want to go into it since I can't remember it properly. But then I know that there was something like that happened. And now the northern part of Nigeria are into rice production. A part of Ebonyi state produces rice.
Yeah.
A part of Anambra state produces rice. So what are we doing
Part of
with
the southwestern state produce cocoa.
You understand? So what are we doing with all these things? Yet we sell a bag of rice close to 40,000 naira, even though we produce rice in our country.
I think we're now importing from Benin Republic now.
That is actually so bad. Countries that are supposed to be looking up to Nigeria, we're not looking up to them for survival. That's so poor.
Yeah, I think the next administration should look into production mainly, and we should have more industries out there. Back in the days, my dad used to tell me, we were walking past, I think Ikeja asked this one day like that, and he said, he was pointing to me that there are some places there in the 80s, in the 70s, they were making textiles. How many textile companies do we have, industries do we have now? Now all those places are now clubhouse. They are now, so many things have actually happened there. Why? Because there is no support for these people. Okay, maybe probably while the company was going down or nosediving or something, I didn't mean the government supported them, let them thrive and come up again. Then you can actually take out your money again. You know, there should be soft landing for them. In Western world or something, we have so many housing benefits for people. We have, you know, soft landing. It's only Nigeria here. You provide your water, you provide your own light, you provide your food, you provide everything, and you still pay tax for what is not being provided to you. So I think the next administration should, in fact, industrialize so many things. If there are no industries, there will still be unemployment. How many people can the government employ in Parastate House? How many can they employ? We now have, would I say, millions of students, of people now aspiring to, you know, enter the universities, now sitting for JAMB. Millions of them going into the education sector that even, you know, it is strike reading. Even, you know, they don't even strike reached under. You know, to some extent.
Did I hear that word? They don't strike it. Wow.
They strike past under.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the feedbacks we have here. Mr. Flip said it's marginalization. Dangote is Nigeria. Okay, you heard before. He said interesting. Dangote is a problem. Our government, they use they steal our money. Okay, Push Mom, since Dangote cement entered Ghana market, entered the Ghana market, ask them how much cement is there since then. Then hear what they will tell us. Visit many countries and hear the price of cement. 30% to 70% of all the cement in Nigeria is imported. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. Let us continue to talk from now until 100 years. There won't be change. Should we go with North Korea system?
Well, I think the next government or even the subsequent government, if Nigeria, if they are actually ready to move Nigeria forward, we need to start producing. If a man, even just as a person, if a man cannot feed himself, is at the mercy of another person. Is just, you know, is just a few steps away from his grave or something. If he cannot feed himself at all, can Nigeria feed itself? No, you can't even produce. And when you have money, at times you might have the cash, but the person who you need something from, he refuses to sell to you. Now you have to go back and you have a farm. Now I was actually in the mosque on Friday, and the imam said something very, very interesting, very, very interesting to me. He said now many people are running away from the farm, from the villages, now coming to the city, and the Chinese guys are coming into Nigeria to buy those farms, that we have resources there. Now they are buying what we need to be using to survive, and our government are looking at them, and they actually the one authorizing all this kind of, you know, relationship between them, and they are buying houses in the UK. They are running out, and you're complaining that the country's economy is falling down. Why won't it fall down?
If things get worse, they will not have a problem because they already have where to go.
Wow. All right, if you're watching us, you can click on like button. You can also call in. We have a phone number in the comment section. You can use that, and let's have your contribution. So we are coming gradually to the end of the program. We've discussed the petition tribunal holding today. The pre-hearing is holding today. Later in the day, would bring you updates on that. APC plotting to influence presidential election tribunal. The PDP and all other opposition parties are alleging PDP and Atiku will apply for live broadcast of Tinubu proceeding of tribunal proceedings. Sorry.
Interesting. As Southeast kicks against Akpabio, demand seats. 150 escapes death as Max airplane plane tire burst in Abuja. Federal government confirms May 22nd for planned inauguration of Dangote refinery. I think that was where a lot of people
really
their contribution because this Dangote refinery inauguration, when there are other people too who are into production, but they are not being given
even when the government can't even
repair
a refinery,
our own refinery.
Then a man builds a whole entire refinery,
and the federal government is going there to inaugurate it. Interesting. 77 trillion naira debt, fuel subsidy, other issues Tinubu will inherit from Buhari.
And there's one other issue that I would love us to take a look at. Nigerian prisons breed hardened criminals, let them loose after jail time, retired justice. It blames prosecutors for prison congestion. I actually think I actually heard something from someone. He said, if you want to know a very good country, look at their prison. How are they treating those offenders there? How are they treating them? If they can treat them very bad, they know that the people on the street would be something, would be nothing else. These people that are offended, how do you even treat them? Are you treating them to go back into the society and be human and start thinking like normal human being, or you are even criminalizing them more?
By the time they come out, they become worse than they entered.
Because I actually used to think of this system that Nigeria government needs to actually focus on these things. That is weird. It should be a rehabilitation center, not okay. I think it is when the person is actually probably a terrorist or something, using rockets, propelled grenade or some things like that, like some kind of terrorist, hardened terrorist that you can actually put in a kind of, you can seclude them, put them in an area whereby they don't you restrict their movement or something per se, then they can get rehabilitated. But when you put about 20 people in one kind of small carton room, and you expect this person to come out back in society and think right.
And of course, these 20 people that are in one room, some of them didn't actually commit the offense to which they were being imprisoned for. And then some of them too inside the prison are actually hardened criminal. And then they at the end of the day, they influence the good people.
They would influence them.
They will now come out of the prison and becoming who they were not before they entered there.
Because I know of one guy like that the guy they've actually arrested. He has been in prison for about 3 to 4 times now. So anytime he sees the police, he's not
scared anymore.
He's not even scared of them. You just feel like that place is just, I'll go back, I'll go there and come out now.
You just hear something like, no be prison. Not today.
I will go, come back. And truly, he would go and come back and he will be hardened. So I think by the time they get into these spaces, they should be softened. They should actually let them realize that all these things you've been doing in the streets is not necessary. Look at this person sending you. His child is not even in Nigeria. You have to use your head. And I think there should be, I think there is the kind of thing now they're now doing in the prison whereby you can actually continue schooling. You can even get your education being, to some extent to a higher level in the prison cell there. I think it's a good one, but there should also be a situation whereby a scheme where they would learn some things, because they say the idle hand is a devil workshop. I think most of the people is because they are not busy doing things.
By the time they come out, what like
they should have
what
a value.
Positive impact
Exactly.
do they have, or what character or attitude have been inculcated into them that will make them, if they come out, they actually become good and better people.
Now imagine someone being arrested for stealing, then sent to prison. Then you now beat this person, use iron, use all sorts of things on this person. This person comes outside. You have actually done a kind of recruit process or initiation process on this person. The next thing you will do is to look for a place to buy a small pistol and start robbing bank. But if you actually,
some of them will say, I didn't do anything and they gave me this treatment. Let me do it now.
Let me come and do the thing.
So that I will know that I did it, so that I can receive the proper punishment for doing it.
But if they actually train them right there, by the time they come out to the society, they just feel like, okay, it's even an advantage. I don't even know this thing before. If it's not me, the person does not even know anything before. Let's say the person does not have any handwork before, but you've gone there and you've actually learned something. By the time you come out, what you need is just to start up what you've learned there.
But
so it should be a kind of school or rehabilitation center.
Whatever the case is, just remember that crime is evil.
Crime is
no
bad.
matter how little it is. It's better you stay away from it. Be a good compatriot, Just be a good person. Live right. Stay away from crime. It doesn't pay. Rather, crime. There's always punishment for every crime, no matter how little.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of the program today. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we did. We've discussed series of topics here, and we'll also be coming back to you with updates on the election tribunal proceedings. I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide, and I have with me here my wonderful co-host.
Thank you so much for being part of the program today. The likes of Push Mom that called in, Mr. Samuel, Mr. Samson. We appreciate your call, of course. Do well to join us on all our social media platforms, and also stay tuned for more updates coming up today on Flip TV. You can as well join Christian Chuku on Bystanders this morning. I am Gladys Aloze. If
you've not subscribed to Flip TV, you can use the subscribe button. Subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that Flip TV drops amazing content. We'll see you again tomorrow for another exciting edition of the program. Bye for now. Have a lovely day ahead.
Stay away from trouble.
Yeah.
And stay safe.
100 naira ko. Let's go,